Hey guys, it's Kevin here. Today I have another great product review for you. It's actually going to be a kind of top 5 comparison review of automatic litter boxes. So if you are new to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button because I review all kinds of products that I come across that I think are helpful and like to share with you guys. And then if you find this particular video helpful, be sure to hit that share button and then of course the like button. So like I said, today's video is about automatic litter boxes. No one likes cleaning litter boxes. They're a complete pain in the butt. And so the automatic litter boxes is an awesome device out there that will automatically scoop out the waste and make cleanup a lot easier. Now, there are a lot of brands out in the market, so I want to touch base on 5, including my previous favorite, which is the PetSafe ScoopFree product, which is right here sitting next to me. And then a new litter box that I discovered not that long ago that I think is currently the cat's meow, and that is the ChillX AutoEgg, which is over here. So before I get into the details of each one of these products and why I liked each one of them and their pluses and minuses, I want to talk about the other products on the market that I've had. Some of them I've had experience, others I've just kind of read a lot about and like to share them with you because they are in the top automatic litter box brands out there. So first one is going to be the most expensive one out there, and it is called the Litter Robot. You may have been seeing the ads lately running on YouTube or other various things. It's very high-tech looking, but it's also very expensive. It's over $500, so it's quite an investment where everything I'm about to show you is several $100s underneath that price point. Now, while it is very massive, that means it's also very powerful. So how the concept it works is it's this egg-shaped dome. Inside's not as big as the outside, so it doesn't necessarily have a ton of room for your cat, but the litter's in there, and then when the cat leaves, it completely rotates like a cement mixer, flipping the litter, mixing it all up, and then all the waste goes into a little kind of hidden trap door, and then it's fresh to use again. But like I said, the biggest complaints about the thing is it's huge, and with the whole cement mixer aspect of it, you gotta be careful with it. And then they so large, if you have like an older cat or anything, they sell like a stair kit going up to it. So that's kind of a big turnoff, along with the price, because it is expensive. The next one, which is probably the least favorite out of the 5, is a product called the CatGenie. Now, this is like a toilet for your cat. The concept is it uses reusable litter, and so you never have to buy new litter again. Of course, unless as time goes by, the litter is going to get tracked out, etc. So you are on the hook of buying the litter from them to replace it, but you're not buying it as often. And the other flip coin is you have to buy their cleaning solution. Otherwise, the product doesn't work. So you are on the hook for always buying their cleaning solution. But, those points aside, the big issue to me is it hooks up to a cold water tap. So you need to hook it up to your toilet. And they include the parts to do wise, break off and everything like that. But there's a lot of hooking up. So you've got to hook it up to your toilet. You've got to be comfortable with that. Or you can hook it up to your washer. Same situation, comfortable with that. And it's going to sit in your utility room. Then, because it has the water, how it works is it heats up and desanitizes the litter. I've read lots of reviews saying that process can become very smelly because if any litter or any waste gets stuck and doesn't actually get pushed out, then you're basically cooking it. But that aside, then the water's got to get dumped into either into your toilet, which is sitting there waiting for you to flush it next time you're in there, or you can if it's hooked up to your washer, then it's got to have the force to go up and into that, because those are usually high, like 4 feet off the ground. So we've read lots of reports of the water coming back in and kind of flooding. So to me, it's the concept is a great concept, but there's a lot of challenges you have to get through, and it's a very niche market. So that brings me to probably the most economical option out there, which is the LitterMaid. Now, the LitterMaid was my first experience into the automated litter boxes. And I'm sure a lot of people, it's their first experience. And unfortunately, the problem with that, it is the most economical, which is why a lot of people turn to it. You can get a LitterMaid for, I think it's like $75, $80. It's cheap compared to all these other ones that I'm showing you. But you get kind of what you pay for. So it has zero odor control from my experience. It didn't capture any of the odors. It didn't have covers or anything like that. And another big problem with it is it was constantly getting gunked up. It had the little trays and little bars, and I don't know, it would always get gunked up. It would break down, and so I'd constantly have issues with it. You could, of course, call customer service and try to get a hold of them and constantly get fixed, and it became a disaster. And it also has no auto tracking or anything like that, like a lot of the fancier litter boxes nowadays. So ours, it basically became a paperweight in our house because it became such a hassle that we unplugged it and we just used it as a regular litter box for a long time. And well, the point of that, you just bought a really expensive plain Jane plastic litter box. So I would steer away from the LitterMaid at all costs if you're wanting to jump into the automatic litter box mode. So that brings me to what we've been using and what was my favorite device out there until recently, until the ChillX. So that's the ScoopFree, and this is what it looks like. As you can see, they're about the same size, and what it has inside is crystals. And after your cat goes to the bathroom, it waits about 20 minutes. And then the rake scoops and puts it into a waste container that's covered up. So that once it's in here, it helps with odors. But the disadvantage is because how the crystals work is they absorb moisture, that waste is sitting exposed on the surface for 20 minutes, and that causes odor. So the odor control really is not great with this product until it's completely dried out. Now, if you run it when it's not dried out, then you run the risk of clogging it. Now, the big selling perk of this device that kind of first turned us onto it was it comes with these trays that come with their little crystal litter. You just buy it, and for us, we get about 20 days out of it. I think their website says 20 to 30 days, so we're right at the beginning end of what they have. Obviously, the more cats you have, a lot less. And it's not meant for big cats. So if you have a cat over 15 pounds or something like that, it's not really meant for them. We don't have that problem. And it is somewhat decently quiet. It's not nearly as quiet as the AutoEgg, but it is decently quiet. Now, touching back on the trays, one of the problems with the litter is you're always having to buy the litter from them. So while it may be, I think this is kind of like the next most economical option on the market, but you're going to easily make up for it by buying their branded litter, their branded trays. You can go out there. I know there's a lot of brands now that make these kind of like crystals. But I found that if you kind of like try to cheat and it doesn't really work. Plus you kind of need the paper trays. Now it brings me to another issue with the trays. They have a waterproof lining, but if your cat likes to pee in the corners, then you got a problem where it can get past that waterproof lining, and if they go all the time in one spot, then it can seep through. We've had it seep through the tray and into the lid a couple times, and as you can see, I have wood floors. The last thing you want is wet cat urine sitting on the floor. So keep that in mind with the trays. But yeah, so other than that, this has been, and it has the cat tracking and all that. It's been kind of our favorite until we came to the AutoEgg. Which is by far become my favorite cat litter device. So let's kind of go over what all you get with this. As you see, it has this kind of modern design, which I think is cool looking. It doesn't look like a litter box. A lot of my friends ask, what the heck's that? And it doesn't have, I mean, ChillX doesn't say litter in it. So a lot of people don't necessarily, oh yeah, that's a cat device. So it's kind of this futuristic looking box. It plugs in with a Type USB-C connection, just simple cord, which is really well made. In case your cat decides to try to go chewing on it. So it comes with a lid, which is easily removable. You just kind of pop this off so you guys can see what it all looks like in here. The device itself, you have a little perforated kind of tray that catches the litter as your cat exits the device. I do also recommend still placing a litter mat on the other side, especially if you have a cat that likes to jump. But this works pretty good at capturing the litter. It's very quiet. There is the device here, the rake, which I don't know if it's because of the way they designed it versus some of the other ones, but I've yet to have this thing get all gunked up and clogged when it goes through. And then as it rotates up, it pushes this device up. The waste goes into this basket, which is right here. Once again, you just easy access the basket. You don't really have to take off the lid or anything like that. You pull this back out, you throw it away. You don't have to use their liners. You can use a grocery bag. You can use whatever you want. So you're not on the hook and constantly buying stuff. I do wish their tray was a little bit bigger. So it holds, I would say we kind of dump it maybe every 4 days. It would be nice if it was like an easy week. To remember, but that kind of depends on how many cats you have and things like that. So then you have the health log. So one of the other things it has this little health safety log here in the front. So as your cat enters and exits, it tells it the date they came in, how long they were in the litter box, how heavy the weight was, and it kind of calculates how heavy the waste was. And then if it's under a certain percentage, it kind of highlights in red. So if you're seeing like your cat is constantly in the red and they're maybe in health concern, you can bring it up to your vet. You also find out like when your cat's kind of just playing in the litter box or whatnot. So that's kind of a cool thing that it has this little log, and it has a lot of sensors. So how the sensors are, so like on this guy, the sensor's right here, and it connects. And so all these devices aren't really kitten friendly, except for the AutoEgg, because your kitten's so small that when they come in here, it has to capture the sensor. The sensors are on the 4 legs that sit in the corner, and if the kitten comes in and this is mid-cleaning cycle, or even your cat, it'll stop. So that way your cat doesn't get hurt. And then when they leave, 6 minutes later, 7 minutes later, something like that, it will continue on. It also has, in particular this once again for kittens, if you have a kitten and it doesn't detect their weight heavy enough to where they left any waste, it will detect if they come in, but sometimes it won't detect if they've left waste, which you can actually see there's some waste in here right now. It will automatically run twice a day. So that's kind of what led me to looking for litter boxes, because we added a kitten to our household and the ScoopFree was no longer really an ideal option. I would have to keep it unplugged until the cat's older. And then I found this device right up on it, and I was impressed and got it, and I've been even more impressed with it because of how quiet it is and how different it is. So those are kind of the ins and outs of these two devices. So feel free to hit me up in the comments. I do typically respond to them. So if there's a question that you have about any of these litter boxes that I didn't answer, hit me up. I do typically respond, and I'll tell you, why the ChillX has become my litter box of choice, and the ScoopX will probably just donate it to some type of clinic or something like that. And that's basically it. So if you found this video helpful, be sure to share it, hit that like button, and until the next one, you guys take it easy. Later. Congrats! You made it to the end of the video. Help this little guy out by clicking that logo and subscribing to the channel. And then, of course, feel free to check out the recommended video, and then like and share, of course, the video you just watched. Till the next one, you guys take it easy.